Learn English through story. The Tale of the Silent Clock. In the bustling city of Engliah, where the streets were always alive with the sounds of commerce and conversation, there stood a grand clock tower at the center of the town square. The clock was a masterpiece of craftsmanship, built centuries ago by the city's most renowned artisans. It was not only a timekeeper but also a symbol of the city's prosperity and unity. Every hour, its chimes resonated through the air, marking the passage of time with a melody that was both beautiful and reassuring to the people of Engliah. One day, as the sun was setting, the clock suddenly fell silent. The gears stopped turning, the hands ceased to move, and the familiar chimes were no longer heard. The people of Engliah were perplexed. How could something so central to their lives just stop? The silence was unnerving, and soon, a sense of unease spread through the city. The city council, alarmed by the growing concern among the citizens, convened an emergency meeting. After much discussion, they decided to summon the best clockmaker in the land, a man named Alaric, known for his extraordinary skill in repairing the most intricate of mechanisms. Alaric arrived the next day, an older man with sharp eyes and steady hands. He examined the clock closely, taking note of every detail. To the council's surprise, he did not immediately begin to repair the clock. Instead, he asked to meet with the oldest residents of Engliah. When the elders were gathered, Alaric asked them to recount the history of the clock tower. They spoke of its construction, of the craftsmen who had built it, and of the times when the clock had required maintenance. But what interested Alaric most was the story of a forgotten ritual, a tradition that had been passed down through generations but had slowly faded into obscurity. The elders explained that, long ago, on the night of the clock's completion, the craftsmen had performed a simple ceremony. They had gathered around the base of the tower, offering thanks for their successful work and pledging to care for the clock as long as it stood. It was said that this act of gratitude and commitment had imbued the clock with a kind of life via a connection to the people of Engliah that went beyond mere machinery. Alaric listened intently, understanding that the silence of the clock was more than a mechanical failure. It was a reflection of the city's gradual loss of appreciation for what the clock represented. Over time, as the city grew and prospered, the people had come to take the clock for granted, seeing it only as a tool to mark time, rather than as a symbol of their collective spirit. The next morning, Alaric addressed the city council. The clock has stopped not because it is broken, but because the bond between the people and the clock has weakened. To restore it, the city must once again recognize the clock as a symbol of unity, rather than just a timepiece. The council was skeptical, but they had no other solutions. Alaric proposed that the city hold a ceremony, much like the one that had been performed centuries ago. The people of Engliah would gather around the clock tower, offering their gratitude and reaffirming their commitment to one another and to the values that had built their city. Word of the ceremony spread quickly, and on the appointed day, the square was filled with citizens from all walks of life. For the first time in years, the people of Engliah paused from their busy lives to come together as a community. They brought offerings of flowers, handmade crafts, and tokens of appreciation and placed them at the base of the clock tower. As the sun set and the sky darkened, Alaric led the gathering in a moment of silence, followed by a simple vow. We, the people of Engliah, pledge to honor this clock as a symbol of our unity, our shared history, and our commitment to one another. We are not just keepers of time, but stewards of the values that define us. At that moment, as the last words were spoken, A faint whirring sound came from the clock tower. The gears began to turn once more, the hands of the clock moved, and the chimes rang out across the city, louder and clearer than ever before. The crowd erupted in cheers, but their celebration was tempered by a newfound understanding of the importance of what they had almost lost. In the days and weeks that followed, the people of Amandara noticed a subtle but significant change in their city. The markets were just as busy, the streets just as lively, but there was a renewed sense of community. Neighbors greeted each other with more warmth, and acts of kindness became more common. The clock tower, now cherished as a symbol of their collective spirit, became a gathering place for both celebrations and reflections. Alaric, his work complete, prepared to leave Amandara. The city council offered him a handsome reward, but he declined, asking instead for a simple plaque to be placed at the base of the clock tower. The plaque read, "Time is a gift we share together. Let us never forget that it is not the hours or the minutes that matter, but the moments of unity and love that define us." Years passed, and the city of Amandara continued to thrive. The clock tower remained at the heart of the city, its chimes a constant reminder of the bond between the people and the values they held dear. And though Alaric had long since moved on, his message lived on in the hearts of the people. The story of the silent clock became a part of Amandara's lore, passed down through generations as a lesson in gratitude and unity. The people learned that the most important things in life via love, community, and a shared sense of purpose cannot be taken for granted. They must be nurtured, honored, and celebrated, just as they had done with the clock. And so, the tale of the silent clock teaches us that in our busy lives, it is easy to lose sight of what truly matters. But when we pause to recognize the importance of unity, gratitude, and shared values, we can restore not only the symbols of our community but also the very essence of what makes life meaningful. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you enjoyed, then please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.